Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for Wednesday, November 26, 2025. And in the news this evening, cop in assault case to return to court. A police officer accused of assaulting a man with a baton, seen in a 2024 video, will return to court next May. Maurice Hilton appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday before Judge Paul Blake Powell. The allegations, according to the Independent Commission of Investigations, are that Hilton used excessive force against the complainant when he struck him in the head with a baton on July 30, 2024, along Shortwood Road in St. Andrew. Following an INDECOM investigation, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ruled that Hilton should be charged with one count of assault occasioning actual bodily harm contrary to common law. INDECOM representatives were in court on Tuesday along two police witnesses and the two complainants in the case. Hilton's case was moved to May 19, 2026, as he and the complainants have filed a case and a cross case, meaning both parties have filed separate cases against each other regarding the same incident. The other case filed by Hilton, and in which he is the complainant, has already proceeded to trial set for May 19, following the failure of the parties to resolve the issue in mediation. Blake Powell, upon hearing this, set the INDECOM case against Hilton for case management on that same date. The judge in the trial will be left to rule on the first case, after which he or she is expected to make an order concerning the INDECOM case. Man fined $15,000 for selling jerk without a food handler's permit. A man was fined in court on Tuesday for operating in a jerk restaurant without a food handler's permit. Rohan Gale appeared in the Kingston and the St. Andrew Parish Court before Judge Paul Blake Powell, accused of selling jerk to chicken in a jerk-themed food establishment without the proper permit to do so. Gale revealed he had applied for a food handler's permit on November 4, but only after running afoul of the law 3 days earlier on November 1. Blake Powell, in sentencing the middle-aged man, said, "I will have a little mercy on you because you went and applied." However, she cautioned that having the requisite food handler's training was important, especially considering what the country is currently going through. The passage of Hurricane Melissa on October 28 has heightened the food safety and the general health concerns locally. Of the maximum fine of $50,000, Gale was ordered to pay $15,000 or spend 30 days behind the bars. Men charged in 1,800-pound Ganja case to return to court in January. 3 men charged in relation to a 1,890-pound Ganja seizure in August will return to court in January 2026. Patrick Brantford, Leon Hines, and Naman Banton appeared before Parish Judge Paul Blake Powell on Tuesday, Hines from lockup as he has not yet been granted bail. The accused were allegedly discovered making their way to one of the country's ports of entry with 1,890 pounds of compressed ganja during a firearms and narcotics division operation on August 15. They are jointly charged with a conspiracy to export ganja, possession of criminal property, trafficking, and dealing in ganja, taking steps preparatory to export ganja, and the possession of ganja. The Crown indicated a forensic certificate in relation to the drugs was outstanding, and the men were ordered to return to court on January 6, 2026 for case management. More leptospirosis cases and deaths. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton on Wednesday reported more leptospirosis cases and deaths amid the current outbreak arising from Hurricane Melissa. Tufton told a special press conference at the Jamaica House that there are now 11 deaths, 3 of which are from confirmed cases. Further, he said that there are now 91 suspected or probable cases of leptospirosis, 10 of which have been confirmed from testing. The figures are as at November 22. Tufton stated that the Health Ministry continues to undertake work to limit the spread of and exposure to leptospirosis and other diseases following the hurricane which hit Jamaica on October 28. He noted that environmental health teams are in the field addressing the issues. He said the ministry is working with partners on solid waste, vector control, PCR rapid testing, expanded personnel, and increased public education. The health minister sought to reassure that the government is doing all that is necessary to keep the public safe. Accused gang member Venom remanded for 2024 Portmore killing. 23-year-old Gregory Park resident Orlando Venom Gray was remanded yesterday when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court to answer to charges stemming from the 2024 gun slaying of a man in Portmore. The deceased is 32-year-old laborer Sheldon Kevin Chambers, otherwise called the Crux of Stephen Avenue, Gregory Park, Portmore, St. Catherine. Gray is charged with murder, possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, conspiracy, and being a member of a criminal organization. Reports are that about 4:50 p.m. on February 11, 2024, Chambers was approached by 3 armed men, including Gray, who allegedly opened a fire and hit him repeatedly in the upper body. The police were summoned and the Chambers was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A probe by the Caymanas police led to the arrest of Gray in November 2025. He was later charged following a question and answer session. $10,000 fine for men caught peeing in public in Spanish Town. Some men who chose to turn sections of Burke Road in Spanish Town into their personal bathroom were left thousands of dollars later after they were fined in the St. Catherine Parish Court on Wednesday. The group of offenders are all charged with unlawfully disposing waste in a public place, meaning urinating in public, were each slapped with a $10,000 fine or 5 days in jail under Section 46(1)(a) of the National Solid Waste Management Act. One man, Martin Tomlin, ended up paying even more. He was fined $15,000 after the judge tacked on an extra $5,000 or 3 days imprisonment for smoking in public. All the men pleaded guilty before acting senior parish court judge Janelle Nelson Gale, who warned them about the steep penalties they narrowly avoided. The fine is as high as $500,000 for urinating in public. You have received a massive discount. You almost do better, the judge told them. The Crown withdrew the charge of indecent exposure. Investigating officer Damian Smichael told the court that the men were seen at various spots along Burke Road relieving themselves before they were arrested and charged. Several attorneys noted that a major public education campaign is needed to remind the Jamaicans of the law. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.